Hi and welcome to the very first video of my channel, and in this video I have decided to answer the ultimate question for all the aspiring photographers. Which is the best camera to start with? Well, let me tell you, there's no best camera. Because asking a photographer about the best camera is as good as asking a traveler about the best destination for your holiday. It simply does not exist. Now it depends on a number of factors, whether you're a beach person or a mountain person or whether you like traveling to forests. Similarly, the best camera, or maybe let me call it a suitable camera for you, will depend on what is your genre of photography, what is your budget and stuff like that. Now if you think that in this video I'm going to give you a list of the best camera bodies, then I'm not going to do that. I can walk you through a short process which will help you decide the suitable camera body for you, but I'm not going to spoon feed you with the camera models. Now you need to figure out what's your purpose, whether you want to shoot videos, whether you want to shoot photographs, or maybe both. Also, simultaneously, it's always good if you have kind of your genre in mind, whether you're purchasing the camera for street photography, wedding photography, or let's say wildlife photography, because all the features are pretty much genre specific. So it's always good to have a fair idea before purchasing that camera. Also, if you're a fit photographer, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter photographer, and purchasing a DSLR simply because you like to upload photographs on social media, then I would say that you might not need a DSLR as such, because I have seen a number of people who have actually invested chunks of money in their DSLRs, and in the end, when they're unable to actually put some time in the DSLR, it rests in the Almirah and they end up clicking photos through a mobile phone. So be very clear. If you're a little serious about photography, then we can talk on. The first feature that you need to take note of is the sensor size. Now the camera these days comes in a number of sensor sizes. Can be a full frame camera, can be a crop sensor camera, can be a micro four thirds camera. It really depends on what you would want to shoot with that camera body. If you are a lot into low light photography, then I would say that a full frame would perform better for you. However, if you are, let's say, a budding wildlife photographer and you're actually not looking forward to invest a lot in the glass, then I would say crop sensor would be relatively better because it will give you more reach as compared to the full frame camera. The second feature that you need to check is the megapixels of your camera. Now it's not like cameras which are higher in terms of megapixels always give good results. If you're somebody who's taking a camera just for holiday purposes and you're going to use it a couple of times in a year or something, then I would say that a camera which is somewhere from 12 megapixels to 18 megapixels would suffice. However, if you're somebody who's a fan of big prints, or maybe if you're somebody who's into a lot of cropping, then I would say that a camera which is more than 20 megapixels would be better for you. Then we have the autofocusing system of your camera. Now before investing in your camera, you need to know that how many autofocusing points are there, what are their kinds, how many linear autofocusing points, how many cross-type autofocusing points, how many dual cross-type autofocusing points are there. Also, if you're a fan of experimenting with composition, then what is the location of the autofocusing points in your camera? How much area the autofocusing points are going to cover in the camera. So these are a few things that you need to know about the autofocusing system before investing in your first camera. Then we have another feature that you need to take note of, the frames per second. Now what are frames per second? The number of frames that your camera can capture in a second. Now again, if you're someone who's taking a camera just for casual purposes, then I would say any camera which has frames per second from 3 to 6 would suffice for you. However, if you're into a lot of action photography, wildlife, birding, or maybe sports photography, then I would say a camera which has frames per second of more than 8 to 10 would be better for you. For example, I was using Canon 5D Mark IV for a while, but I wasn't happy with the frames per second value a lot. It's somewhere around 6 to 7. Being a wildlife photographer, I need a camera which has a better frames per second value, somewhere more than 10. Hence, I decided to move to the Sony Alpha series. Now I'm enjoying the 20 frames per second like anything. And the last feature that you need to take note of is the ISO capabilities of your camera. Again, if you're somebody who loves to shoot low light, or maybe if you're into a lot into indoor photography or a lot into wildlife photography where we are always short of light, then I would say that a camera which performs better in terms of its ISO is good for you. If you're taking it for general purposes, or let's say more for outdoor photography, and you have a lot of consistent light out there, then I would say that won't matter for you much. Lastly, I have a suggestion coming from experience. Now, a number of times we read the reviews and we do all our research possible. We see a number of YouTube videos, we see a number of blogs about that camera, But then when we invest in that camera and when it's in our hands, we are not very happy with the results. That is because, again, a camera which is good for you might not be very good for me, and vice versa. So before investing a good chunk of money in that camera, I would say try and arrange it, maybe rent it out, or maybe see if your friends and family have it and take it for a walk. Shoot a couple of pictures, experiment with it, understand the features, and once you're very comfortable with your camera, once you know that this is the right camera body for you, then and only then plan to invest your hard-earned money in that camera. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you liked the video, then let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any more suggestions for my upcoming videos, then post it in the comment section and I will definitely take a note of those. Thank you and bye-bye.